quiz review, super quiz review, geez, part four, quiz review four, actually, and part three. I actually chose question 8 because of the types of situations contemplated in Tennessee Rule of Civil Procedure 22. Interpleader actions very often involve. I got this answer wrong because I read the question wrong. When you go to actually Rule 22, this generally basically tells you like what it is, as far as that plaintiffs may be joined to defendants. It's required to interplead with their claims, that such as the plaintiff is or may be exposed to double or multiple liability. That in of itself, that's usually something that happens with real estate, and the reason why is because real estate often cases in it itself often have multiple parties. There's always multiple issues when it comes to agents and who's owed this or who's not owed, who has a contract, who was there first, who was not. It's so much involved, and I can't believe I missed it because again, I'm a banker and this is what I do all day long, and these are the documents that I handle when I'm speaking to attorneys and customers and things like that. And when it gets to the point that there's a major issue, if you need certain documents to prove certain things when it comes to owning a home or a commercial business and things like that. This is something that I do on a daily basis, so I just missed it by accident. But I went to Google and found the answer there as well, so that way you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But the correct answer is real estate. The reason why the other answers are actually incorrect. One that I chose with third party plaintiffs is because that's what an impleader is considered, but that's not what their actions involve. So it's not their actions. Bankruptcy trustees, that's more on a federal level when you're dealing with trustees and things like that. Insurance proceeds, also corporate level. When you're dealing with insurance proceeds, I think it can be some type of impleter because with insurance, I guess you have multiple when you're dealing with family issues. So something like that. But if a family member dies and there's like a will, if they die, either testate or intestate, so things like that when it comes to insurance. So that's something to look at. Substitution of parties. It's not really that. That can be a possibility, but there's not really if well, that can be a possibility if someone meant to sue someone else, but they sued the wrong person, so had to go back and substitute for the correct person, or something like that. So, wrongful death beneficiaries, that's more medical. And when it comes to impleter actions, they're not really involved in wrongful death beneficiary types of things. So that's kind of similar to things like insurance proceeds. So they kind of go hand in hand with the types of things that are dealt with when it comes to an impleter. They have like a certain window to where wrongful death beneficiaries, because it's could have like multiple children and things like that. But then that's it just depends. But just in a nutshell, it's not the right answer. It's real estate, and the reason why is because real estate is what it is. There's always so many actions involved with when it comes to lawsuits, a joinder, and just in of itself. So just to kind of go to Google, so I'm not rambling. This is just a definition of an impleter: a suit pleaded between two parties to determine a matter of claim or right to property. held by a third party. So yeah, like I said, what I do every day is when it comes to a deed to a home, like who's the true owner, who's not the true owner of the home. If someone, if there was a will, and there was any sort of probate, what's needed and what's not needed. So that it's kind of it's so much information, but it's usually dealing with like real estate agents, property, and contracts and things like that. But that's usually what it is. And then also here, what is an impleter action in real estate. So that pretty much gives you the answer that it's real estate. And I can just kind of drop it down. It just kind of tells you that potential for resolving real estate escrow disputes. Yeah, there we go. So escrow, that's what I was trying to say. And that's usually what we're dealing with when it comes to impleter action. So, impleter action aims to determine the party who is entitled to receive money or property when a neutral third party is holding funds or property and is confronted with two or more claimants and to the same property. So, who's owed first? It's like who's on first, you know. So that's all that is, and that's why that's the correct answer. And I chose that one in error. So I read the question too fast, and I should have known, but that's why that one is the correct answer. And this is the rule for it generally. And then also just kind of looking at it when you go down to interpleader, the procedures. So if you just kind of want to know how it's implemented, any property or amount involved to which the party is seeking impleter admits party seeking impleter admits liability may, upon order of the court, be deposited with the court or otherwise preserved or secured by bond an amount sufficient to assure payment of the liability. So just kind of going on and on. Any property or amount involved. So just property. So that's pretty much tells you exactly. And I hate that I missed that too, but that's why real estate is the correct answer and the others are actually incorrect.